Hello Nintendo Wii here, and welcome to the first episode of an ongoing series called Let's Play Retro Games. You may remember last year or a few years ago I did a series called Retro Game a Week. Unfortunately I couldn't keep up that sort of schedule, but expect these videos to be something similar to that, where I play a retro game for a while, talk about it, discuss some of my feelings for it, discuss some of the history and the background of the series. There won't be full Let's Plays as such. They might be, they might not be, I'm not sure. I just really enjoy talking about my favourite games, and I want to share those kind of videos again with you guys. So let's get started with Donkey Kong Country 3. So the main reason I'm playing this game is because I've been listening to the Conversation podcast. Ever since the Geek Critique was on it, I've gone back and listened to some of their older episodes, and I've really been enjoying it. I've just listened to their 4-part Donkey Kong Country 3 birthday special, so I've just set up a new user on here called LPRG. Let's Play Retro Games, and I'm right at the start of the game. And like they said, there is no story to this game whatsoever. The entire story is in the manual for some unknown reason. So here's Wrinkly Kong playing on what looks like an N64 actually, surprisingly. And basically she just talks about the banana birds that have gone missing. Which is not actually the game's story. The game's story is the fact that you have to go and rescue Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong because they've gone missing. Not the banana birds, so I don't know what they're on about. And anyway, here we go. Let's go to Funky Kong. Yo, Dixie, what's happening? I've set up my smoking new boat on this... Oh, I went too fast. And I have no idea what that accent was. But here we go. There's Kiddy Kong with his huge puffy lips. His Botox lips. I have to say, this is my favourite version of Funky Kong. Every time I think of Funky Kong, that's what I think of. The Funky Kong from the boat rental shop in DKC3. And like they were saying, the first time I played this game, I was amazed at the fact that you could actually move around on the map, because you were never able to do that before in any of the previous Donkey Kong Country games. And then you obviously go to the normal level map, which looks a lot more similar to what you'd expect. And here we go. Let's jump straight into the first level in Orangatanga, something like that. I can't actually remember what it's called. I missed it when it came up on the screen just then. So I really love this stage. They were saying on the podcast that it's a bit simple, and I do agree it's a bit simple, but it's still a really, really nice stage. And the graphics and the music and everything, it really sets the scene for this whole game. Unfortunately, I don't have any crazy stories of being at a summer camp or anything like the guys did on there, but can still really appreciate the sort of aesthetic they were going for with this. They really did a great job. Especially considering it wasn't the actual original Donkey Kong Country team. Oh no, come back. See, that's good game design there. They give you to him in a place where you can't actually lose him. And that's a very quick Kong letters. Already got all of them. And almost lost him again. And I can't get that balloon. Oh my god, I'm doing so badly. And there we go, to the flag. Very much like Mario. I did prefer the finish to Donkey Kong Country 2, where you have to jump on that sort of spring thing. Here we go, next level, doorstop dash. And this level's gimmick is the moving doors, where you have to pull on these switches to make the doors open. I don't usually like these indoor levels. I think the graphics are kind of dull, but I've always preferred the outdoor sort of environments on these kind of games. Although I do quite like the level a bit later on where you play as the elephant and you have to pick up the barrels to hit the rats because he's scared of rats, which is a nice idea. So, my personal experience with Donkey Kong Country 3. I think I actually played it before I played Donkey Kong Country 2. I'd obviously got the original from when I was really young on the SNES. And I actually have a great memory of the original Donkey Kong. I was sent to like some play school thing while my parents went shopping one day, and they had a SNES set up in the back, and they had a few games. They had Star Fox and they had Donkey Kong Country, and I said, put on Donkey Kong Country, and my parents must have been gone for about an hour or so, and I actually sat down and completed the entire game. And I remember having a crowd of kids watching me while I was finishing it, and that was just, what a great memory that is. But anyway, that's Donkey Kong Country 1, not 3. So, my first actual memory of Donkey Kong Country 3 is actually seeing it in a shop when it was brand new in whatever game used to be before it was game. Electronics Boutique. That's showing my age a bit there. So yeah, when this game came out in 1996 or 7, whenever it came out for the SNES, I remember seeing the game in Electronics Boutique in the town centre. I remember it vividly. I was only really young at the time, like 4 or 5, but I remember seeing the game on the shelf, in the box, and I was so excited because I really loved the original Donkey Kong Country. And this game, not having played Donkey Kong Country 2 at the time, this game blew me away. The extra mechanics, the extra graphics, everything about this just was really, really good at the time. Especially, I know I already mentioned it, but the fact that you can move around the map in any direction you want. I know they're only small sort of environments, but at the time, being the 5 or 6 year old that I was absolutely blown away by it. I didn't really understand why Donkey Kong wasn't in the game, because I don't think I bothered reading the instruction manual to find out, and I thought Kiddy Kong was a bit stupid, but Dixie Kong's always been my favourite character, and that is because of this game. I don't even know why I'm playing as Kiddy Kong right now. Let me swap out. Oh no, I hurt her. Don't cry. Come on. So if you press select, you can actually swap characters, which is really useful, and Dixie Kong obviously has a spinning hair to let her fly in the air, which is always really useful. And obviously that came from Donkey Kong Country 2, which is my favourite of the Donkey Kong series. I'll probably be doing a video about that one at some point in the future. But I just thought I'd do Donkey Kong Country 3 as I've been listening to a podcast about it. But, oh my god, Donkey Kong Country 2, what a masterpiece that game is. If you think DKC 3 is good, you need to go back and play the second one. Just everything about that game is amazing. This game sort of takes a step back from Donkey Kong Country 2, in my opinion. I know some people would prefer this one, but I think it feels a bit more simple, a bit less epic, if that makes sense. Like Donkey Kong Country 2 had such a strong theme, but this game sort of takes a step back, and as you can see, the levels are a bit more simple compared to the crazy Gangplank Galleon or Hothead Hop or any of them really awesome levels. So here we go. This is the first snow level in the game, and that's one thing that DKC 2 was missing, was snow levels. It didn't actually have any. DKC 1 had some amazing snow levels though, like the one in the blizzard. Love that stage. But the atmosphere on this level's really amazing too. I love the mountains in the background and the ambient music. Eveline Fisher did a brilliant job. I think that's her name, Eveline Fisher, or Evangeline Fisher. Someone Fisher, anyway. She did also do some of the soundtrack for Donkey Kong Country 1, but I'm not sure which tracks she did. And I know some people prefer David Wise's GBA soundtrack, but I actually think the SNES one is better, but maybe that's just because that's what I grew up with. I'm not really sure. I might do a video of the GBA game so you can actually compare it. The game's more or less the same. It's got a few extra mini-games, and obviously it's got the remade soundtrack from the absolutely incredible David Wise. But yeah, I haven't played too much of the GBA one. I only got it recently actually. I've got the Japanese copy, as I found it in Japan really cheap. Else, obviously I would have picked it up in English, but it's not really the sort of game you need any story for, is it? So it doesn't really matter. So you can see the mini-games in DKC 3 usually revolve around just killing a group of enemies and picking up one of the bonus coins. And as well as the bonus coins, you also have the DK coins, which are hidden behind the Kremlins where you have to throw the barrels at, which is pretty fun. But once you know how to do it, they're all the same. You just have to throw the barrel behind them and hope it bounces off a wall and hits them in the head. And this game starts off really easy compared to Donkey Kong Country 1, which is a lot harder. But I have a feeling that this game was made for a younger audience. It just feels that way to me, I'm not sure why. Although don't worry, it does pick up in difficulty later on. So this is a darker sort of level, another one in the mill. I never used to know there were mills. This is when I was on about where you play as the elephant, Ellie. And you'll see why it's a dark level in a second. Because there's these torches that light the path. This is a good example of how the SNES game is a lot more atmospheric compared to the GBA one. Because in the GBA one, this level's so bright it doesn't even make any difference that there's lights on the walls or not. This level can be a bit frustrating because you have to wait for the barrels so that you can attack the rats that are walking around. Because if you just go up to a rat, then he gets all scared and runs off. If you can even get to the rats, I ran into Tigger. Yay, I plays Dixie Kong, not that it makes any difference. And this is something that always confused me about the Donkey Kong games. Sometimes when you pick up an animal buddy, you ride on it, and sometimes you pick up an animal buddy and you turn into it. And in DKC 2 especially, that really confused me. But I guess I kind of see why they do it, because it makes it a bit more challenging. And then you don't have to worry about the animal running off for some of the levels that require it, like this one. It wouldn't really work without it, because you could just run past all of the rats. But yeah, it's always something that confused me. Let me show you what happens when you run into a rat. There you go. Just gets scared and runs the other way. Nothing too exciting. Swanky Kong's back again for another minigame. I can't remember whether it's a quiz show this time. I remember it was in DKC 2. So let's have a look. Come on, Kongs, and have a go. You could win well. You could well win, you'll never know. Let's play game. Okay, Kongs, it's your choice today. Which game would you like to play? Race to 25, endurance, or head-to-head? Let's try head-to-head. Today's contest is a throwing game with a difference. The happiest player at the end wins. So you've reached the bonus game then, have you? Oh, that's Cranky Kong. It's not a simple game of questions and answers this time. Now you've got to beat yours truly if you want to win any prizes. That was a terrible old person accent, and I am very sorry. So this is actually some sort of really awkward to control minigame where you have to throw rocks at Kremlins that are holding up targets. And I think I'm losing. Come on, I can't beat an old Kong. Which is the original Donkey Kong. Yay, I beat him! Woo! Yes, apparently Cranky Kong is the original Donkey Kong from the Donkey Kong arcade game. I don't know how true that is, but there we go. Got a bunch of bananas off Swanky and some bonus coins. Woo! Let's have a round of applause for our contestants. Woohoo! And now to Belcher's Barn, the boss for this world. Some of the bosses in this game sort of remind me of the ones from Banjo-Tooie. I'm not really sure why. And I think I just walked off the wrong end of the platform and killed myself. Pretend that never happened. Okay, so the idea is to break the barrel, squash the beetle, pick the beetle up and put it in his mouth. Which is easier said than done. Because there's actually 3 different things you have to do. And then for some reason he eats the beetle and... Oh right, I really haven't played this game in a long time, so I can't really remember. He eats the beetle and then burps and falls backwards. Kind of reminds me of the boss from Sonic 3 or Sonic and Knuckles. Whichever one that sand boss is, where you have to push it off the platform by hitting him on the head. Although this one's a bit more fun and actually has some sort of challenge to it, not like that one, which is just literally just keep hitting him on the head and he falls into the sand. But quite a fun first boss, but also a fairly simple one. And it doesn't look like the barrels can hurt you either, which is good. Certainly a lot easier than the first boss from DKC 2. I know the first boss from DKC 1 is really easy, it's that big rat thing. There we go, and I think he's dead. Yay! I'm a bit worried of jumping on that. There we go, got the coin. And that's the end of the first world, as far as I remember. And we get catapulted back to the start out of a cannon for some reason, and they don't question it. If I was on holiday and I got catapulted out of a cannon, I'd be a bit worried. So the next world is Cremwood Forest. I think I'll leave it there. I really hope you enjoyed this new style of video, a more relaxed Nintendo Wii video, where I'm just talking about the game, playing the game, and give you guys a good taste for it if you want to go and try it for yourself. So thanks very much for watching. I already know what next week's episode is going to be. That is Castlevania the new generation for the Mega Drive. I picked it up the other day in CAX and I'm really enjoying it so far, so stay tuned, look forward to this video, and don't worry, I will be finishing off the Yoshi's Island Let's Play that I'm doing. I've got a few more videos to upload, but I haven't got any internet at the moment, so look forward to that as well. I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye, and don't forget to subscribe.